We're figuring it out.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Good Men Trying. I am your host, Marlon, joined here by Brett.
This is Good Men Trying, a podcast where we are helping men show up in the relationships that matter most.
And we're going to get better at that intro as time goes on. But today is Sunday. We played basketball. I got to say, I felt great on the court today. How did you feel?
Ooh, well, I'm glad you felt. I have not hit a jump shot in 3 weeks.
You hit one today because I passed it to you and you made it.
The confidence is rather low.
Well, I don't think we ran straight 45 minutes straight and didn't lose. So that was at least 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The outcome was fine. Personally, I'd love to play a little bit better. But, you know, like I said, just got to work on that confidence.
Well, I actually don't always get to play with you on your team. I'm typically against you. So I enjoyed our run this morning.
Yeah.
Specifically for that.
Yeah, it was a good run.
But we had a very good / busy weekend. It kicked off in the most peculiar of ways.
Oh, yeah?
I was telling you a story at the basketball court today.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And Cody, we're also joined by Evan here today. Special
shout out.
Special guest for the 4th member.
In the house.
Yeah. So you guys didn't get a chance to hear the story, so I'm going to recount this story for you today.
Buckle up, Annie be on her shit.
It features my wife and her girlfriends. I was told, and that phrase was exactly how I meant it. I was told, hey, I'm going out with the ladies tonight, Friday, midday. And as a matter of fact, for all of you guys around, I would just like to play this video from Annie's social.
Oh.
Because
on her Instagram.
For this, visuals are required.
This is the link you sent me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you are watching Annie and her best
Slow-mo.
friends walking through. Very much so. Let me tell you how this shot came to be. All right. Roll it one more time just because this is going to be good points later on. So they ask some random guy, hey, can you record this for us? They go to dinner. They're having a great time. And I text my wife, hey, I'm going to bed. This is probably like 10:30. So they're telling me this story. I'll kind of read through just a little bit. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to take a look at the actual screenshot of the conversation. But I will tell you what happened. So they're trying to tell me that at the very top of this establishment, this guy whistles at them as they're walking out.
Little cat call?
Yeah, a little cat call. No big deal. They had already racked up a list of potential suitors that were trying to step to them. So then Annie tells me about these guys that are explaining to her how beautiful they are. So this guy, top of the thing, runs down, leaves the restaurant. She's waiting to
chases him down,
and says, I just needed to tell you how beautiful you are. So Annie says, not one attractive man was seen because my eyes are only attracted to you, babe. And of course, C is hyping her up. What a line. What a line. I said, if you think I could be shaken by a bald man named Ken, sorry, Ken, if you're listening to this, or a tall chocolate drop named Demetrius, allow me to reintroduce myself. And to them,
my name is Ho.
they know me as Papi. The Dominican Papi. Okay. And so then I sent them a picture of us when we did posted for a Heat and Match, our latest social club drop when we were at the golf clubs. And I said, hey, don't ever forget, I love you and I know that you are beautiful, but I don't need to hear all these stories.
Right.
To her, that was my highest version of confidence, which just happens to be our topic today. Look at that. Look at that golf. Look at that DILF shirt and that golf swing over there. You can't rattle my confidence when it comes to anybody else approaching my wife because I know I have that on lock. So my question to start off our episode today, Brett, is what makes you feel the most confident?
Oh, man. So you're talking about relationships. So, of course, the first thing
doesn't have to be. Go ahead.
Pops to my mind is, we're out and my wife has had, 1, 2, 3 drinks and she's feeling me. Her eyes are for me and for me
dressing
alone.
You right there on the table.
She's holding on to my arm. There's nobody else in there but me. That's That's probably the height of confidence for me.
I could definitely appreciate that. Brett, I know you were raised in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I know you know a lot of black people.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing more ubiquitous than a black man coming out of the barber's chair with a fresh razor edge lineup to transform that man from being a shell of himself to the most confident, arrogant person on the planet. I don't know if that actually translates into other cultures, but is there anything on the opposite side that you could say for people in your circle that just...
Oh my gosh. I don't know, Cody, do you have anything holding it down for the whites?
As a white from Georgia, it's when an older black lady tells me I look like good.
White people like encouragement. It really doesn't matter what for. Now that's a container for liquid.
You know, when she says something to me that's positive, yeah, that makes my day.
Dude, straight up that is legitimately one of the best feelings in the world.
The thing is, and this will sound racist, white people are very discouraged.
She could be a grandmother. She could be, baby, you just wearing that.
Yeah. Keep on wearing his pants.
Yes. And you're like, oh.
It doesn't even have to make sense. I'm just like so pleased the rest of the day.
What makes you feel the least confident?
Oh, someone puts me in a situation where I am maybe unskilled. Someone puts me in a situation where I'm speaking on something I'm not prepared to speak about, maybe. Someone puts me in a situation, or I put myself in a situation where I'm in a social setting where like suddenly the performance of what I'm doing matters. Like, for instance, you go to a wedding and you're not expecting the wedding to break out into a flag football game at the reception or something, right? And I'm like, I'm not wearing the right shoes for this, you know what I mean? Or something. Those situations, oh man, when you show up somewhere and you're not wearing the right fit, you didn't get the memo. You should have dressed better, and you didn't.
The least confident I ever saw Brett was in an air trampoline park where they do the fake skydiving.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Everybody's going into the skydiving, and Brett's like, I don't want to go in there. And I'm like, what's wrong? It's just like a tube. And you're like, I'm not going to go in there. You were confident in the no, but then you did it anyway, and it didn't look good. It looked like that Patrick Swayze ghost scene where he's behind the lady making the pottery, but he's just making Brett try to open his arms to a fan. And he's like, come on, open up, bud. Like, yeah. You're just like, nope, don't like
I knew
this.
how that was going to go, but you got to face your fears.
I have a healthy respect for high heights at accelerated speeds, AKA roller coasters. I am the least confident standing in that line.
Or when you're
no, because it doesn't get to that.
Oh, you just don't get on.
Except when my daughters say, hey, we'd like to go on the Batman. And I'm like, really? The line, though, is so long.
Look at this line.
I'll hold all the presents for you. That definitely, it takes a lot to get me there. So a lot of context here. Let's actually go into the definition of what confidence is, because I have a question I want to ask you after that.
Okay. Cody's got it pulled up.
Yeah, I'll bring it up here.
Definition of confidence is a feeling or consciousness of one's powers or of reliance on one's circumstances. So you've got a feeling, or you're aware of, your powers or someone else's powers, and you're relying on those. Or the circumstance that you're in. And then the other one is faith or belief that one will act in a right, proper, or effective way.
I hear those. I would like to give you our definition for today.
Oh, I like it.
Confidence is earned trust in your ability to face reality, not control reality, but just to face reality.
Ooh, that's bars.
I am going to
say it again.
Confidence is earned trust in your ability to face reality, not control reality, but just to face that reality. Because your reality changes.
Right.
With every circumstance, with every moment. It could be the situation with my wife that we had at the top of the episode, or it could be something negative where I've got to shift because we're going on a roller coaster and I have to exude this amount of confidence.
You're like, I'm competent enough
Yeah.
that I can do what needs to be done here.
I think what we are going to tackle through our conversation today, and for our audience specifically, we not only encourage you to think about these topics, but kind of reflect on this for even after the episode is done. Are you confident? As a question. Are you confident? Or is the environment that you're in that's giving you that confidence? So
like, is it innate, something inside of you?
Is it something inside of you?
Or is it something you're getting from where you are?
Manufactured,
or
or you create because of whatever's inside may not necessarily be the strongest.
Okay, interesting.
So I want to walk through confidence in a couple different examples. On the Good Men Trying podcast, we, like you said at the top, we want to make men the best they could possibly be in the relationships that matter most to them. In those relationships, as yourself primarily, first and foremost, as a friend, as a father or husband, as a career individual. So let's walk through some of those elements of what confidence looks like.
Okay.
For yourself first, and then we'll go through as a friend, confidence as a friend. So your thoughts also open up to Cody as well. Confidence for yourself. We kind of talked a little bit about that already at the top. Any other thoughts before we go into confidence as a friend?
So my confidence for myself, I can only speak for myself, is built from thinking about the competencies I have and thinking about the competencies that I want to acquire, that I need, and then doing that work.
Yeah.
Because I know that if I'm always trying to reskill, if I'm always trying to refine myself, then I've got that kind of work ethic, that mindset that even if I don't do this well now, I know I'll do it well later.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of mindset, for me at least, allows me to fail in a way that doesn't like hurt my ego or pride too much, because I have a lot of faith from demonstrated, experiences in the past that whatever this thing is, I can get there.
Yeah. Much like the situation with my wife, I know whatever happens at girls' night, however many guys may or may not come up to her or tell her she's beautiful or all those things, the confidence that I have put into our relationship, that is, I would have told her she's beautiful at least 100 times before she heard it somewhere else. I would have I would have chosen the outfit. I would have helped her walk through I would have chosen the shoes. We would have, all the things that go into that.
Mm-hmm.
I know. So whatever external factors happen to be there, I'm no longer worried about. They don't bother me or faze me.
Hey, listen, when Kate's friends come into town,
come on now, preach.
Listen, when Heather and Hillary,
shout
out Heather and Hillary, come into town, Kate's going to disappear for somewhere between 24 to 48 hours.
Love it.
She's not going to answer the phone. I'm going to have no idea where she's at. They're going to be at a dance hall. They're going to be at some sort of bar or club. They're going to be dancing with strangers all night. Every single one of these women would never, ever mess around. But they're out there, but they're flirting. They're having a good time.
They're Cardi B outside.
Straight up. But I know that because I've spent the time with Kate, talking with her and like understanding our relationship and our past and the things we've both been through and stuff. So while I find it annoying that she won't answer my phone calls or fucking text me back.
Healthy criticism.
Yes, I'm not in any way worried about like, is she going to leave me for, the handsome fella in the tall hat with the cool boots on?
You're at the boogie bar?
Yes, exactly.
At the saloon?
Yes.
I think what we're saying here, and I think this is going to help anchor at least some of this theoretical or conceptual ideas of confidence into something more concrete. Confidence is a trust account. You and I both just said we've deposited into that trust account. We've spent the time, we've developed the relationships, we've done the compliments, we have given the ability to go out and to be yourself without overcrowding or overburdening. We've deposited all into an account.
Right.
So when we need to make a withdrawal, as an example, we know that the funds are going to be there.
I like that.
And so I think that is kind of the height of what good confidence looks like. On the opposite side of that, and we'll just kind of maybe even go back and forth here, every promise that you break to yourself or in that relational contract, you're withdrawing trust. You're withdrawing confidence that they are loved, that they are heard, that they are safe.
That you can do hard things.
Yes, exactly. And so as we kind of walk through these examples, just wanted to make sure that the audience as well as us kind of keep that in mind, because things can shift, because you can make a large withdrawal and all of a sudden that balance goes to zero. It doesn't matter how many times I've complimented my wife before she goes out with her girls. If I did something that jeopardized that confidence in our relationship, it could come back to bite us.
Dude, the deposits, that hard work that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's so hard because it's step by step by step. But the withdrawals can be an avalanche.
Yeah.
They can cascade quickly. And one failure, and suddenly 6 months, a year, 5 years of hard ass work
Yes.
is gone in 30 minutes or 3 days or whatever.
Yeah. And I want to talk about friends now and the confidence that we have with our friends, because in one of our earlier episodes, we talked about male loneliness and friendships. I think that is probably at the core of why some of those friendships fade or fail, because the confidence that we developed or built up, the equity is no longer there. Inflation has taken place. What was once maybe $100 now only covers 10, and we haven't developed that level of trust, so that when periods of emptiness happen, we can't rely on that solid foundation to bring us through. So walk us through maybe some examples of confidence in friendships.
Confidence in friendships. I can speak to the friendships I have the most confidence in.
Yeah.
I have I have 3 best friends. Nick Guyman is my ride or die brother in life. We've known each other since 4th grade. We met in sex ed class at church.
I wasn't ready for that.
We met in 4th grade sex ed class at church, and he was the only other kid besides for the adults that were laughing at my jokes. And we've been bonded ever since. And then Tyler Wilson and Kyle Dorman, Cody knows both Kyle and Tyler. Those are just my homies and will forever be, no matter how long we go without talking. And the confidence there is that, first of all, we have so much shared experiences. Yeah. We've stacked up more shared experiences than we could ever expire in a lifetime. So I've got that bank. That bank's full. It will never empty. It would take something crazy to empty it. But Wilson's in the military. He's often, or has been often out to sea somewhere in the world and unable to chat or text or whatever. So we'd go long periods of time without chatting. And Kyle, similar, lives back in Atlanta now, but has lived, all over the South really. And it's tough to kind of maintain these friendships over time when proximity is in the way in that way. But both of those guys, like I said, we've just stacked up so much currency that I don't think I would ever lose confidence in that.
It's interesting. You're saying like a lack of communication would be a type of withdrawal from the trust bank, but in this case, it's such a minor amount that it doesn't affect the holdings. Like you have such a amount built up that you can go a long time and the trust is still there.
Yeah.
Kind of accruing interest, if anything.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys feel this way, but especially when it comes to confidence in a friendship, you can stack so many pivotal like life moments, the kinds that you go back and you kind of reminisce on in your quiet moments when you're just thinking back through your life, like the things that would flash before your eyes if you were about to die. Like if you have enough of those with another person, it's really hard to lose confidence in that, because you can't think of those times in your life without thinking of that person.
Yeah. So would you say in this example, confidence is innate to the friendship, not necessarily manufactured by the environment, or both?
That's a good question. My quick reaction is that it's innate.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree, because that's the relational contract that you guys have formed your friendship around and continue to adjust around.
Yeah.
What about as a husband and a father? What makes those two roles exude confidence?
I think there's something to the fact that when you have, especially a son, looking up to you to show you how to be in the world, there's a level of manufactured confidence
Mm-hmm.
that you have to put on to kind of show them that confidence is possible,
Yeah.
that it exists. What do you think?
Well, I think what you're describing in both of those scenarios, as a husband and as a father, there's no education for that.
No.
There's no course you can take.
No.
There's no shortcut around learning those two things. So
Yeah.
that has to come inside of you. That has to be an innate quality. And I think even just focusing on those two aspects of many men's relationships, that could be an area where we find people have the least amount of confidence because there is nothing, there's no educational course, there's nothing there. It requires work. It requires an inside version of you to not just manufacture it, but to pull it up out of absolute nowhere, set up the entire infrastructure and live within it.
But do you think that confidence, the confidence in a relationship, especially with your spouse, can be drawn from your surroundings?
I think so. Let me rephrase. I know so. In the fact that when my mom used to always say, birds of a feather flock together. I'm sure there's other sayings of the same. But the point is that when you do life in a community of people that believe the same as you,
I agree.
this makes it a lot easier.
I think of church
Yeah.
organizations. I think, there's a lot of shared confidence.
That's where it takes a village to raise a child really comes from, is that, and one really interesting story I learned, as we were coming out of COVID, we went to the park, we saw this Indian family, really young family, and we started having a short conversation, and they said to me, it is so hard to raise kids in the United States. I said, well, why?
Interesting.
They said, well, back home, it is a part of our culture for the parents of the wife, the woman, the mother, to come in and take on that child rearing responsibility so that the two adults can go and pursue their career. Well, their family is thousands of miles away.
Yeah.
They don't have that community support system.
Yeah.
So culturally, they're having to learn how to do something that is not what they learned and what they saw, all at the same time existing in a crazy new environment with new
Where they
rules.
wouldn't have a ton of established confidence.
Yeah. And so they were explaining how difficult it was to believe that they were good parents when they worked from home. So you run to check on your kid, and then you run back to your computer until the Teams things dings again, and then you run back to check on your kid, and then you come back, and before the day's over, you spent 12 hours in front of the computer, 1 hour with your kids. Of that time, 15 minutes getting them a snack, 15 minutes making lunch, and then 15 minutes running back and forth to make sure that they're still alive. I'm talking super fast. I don't know why. But
you're also talking, feels like from experience a little bit.
I mean, yeah. So all of those things, I think, does, to that point, drive that. One thing I want to ask, confidence as a son.
I struggled with this. I don't know if you struggled with this. So much of our early lives are spent trying to measure up to our dads and what they think, or moms, depending, or both. For me, once I started to get feedback from my dad that wasn't situational necessarily, like, great kick on that soccer ball, son. You know what I mean? But more like, hey, I saw the way you moved in that situation and I'm proud of you for that. Or I think you did this thing and it got you in a little bit of trouble, but you know what? I wouldn't have done it any differently. I think it was a tough situation, and I think I stand behind what you did. Like, all of those things to me build that. And there's a lot too. Now that I'm older and my dad is older, it's on me a little bit to build his confidence too, right? Like, now he poured so much into me. Now it's on me to give a little bit back. Does that resonate with you at all?
This is a deep sigh because I'm going to tell you this story. My mom's family comes from a long line of religious people from the island of Trinidad. And there was a story of a fisherman who didn't live anywhere near our side of the island, who came in and basically told a prophecy to my great grandmother. He wrote on the wall and he drew a boat. And as they're having this conversation, I promise you, everything I'm telling you has been told to me multiple times. The boat traveled from one side of the wall across the two other walls and then out the window. And his point was, he said, sister, God will not leave you. God wants to take you, but he's not going to leave you until you get your family in the boat.
Oh, okay.
This, as has been told to me, is the prophetic view of that somebody in their line is going to be this amazing minister that is going to save lots of people.
Oh, no pressure.
I have two uncles. Both of them thought we thought it was going to be them at some point.
Yeah. One of them was Neo.
They both, unfortunately, married the wrong person and or had a child out of wedlock, which disqualified them from this prophecy.
Oh, no.
Then it went to my oldest brother, who, if you've read the book, you've read my book, Elevate Fatherhood. I tell that story. So that means no.
Right.
Because he passed away. Then it went to my elder brother. Well, it skipped him. And then there were two other cousins in there and it skipped them. So when I was around 10 or 12, I started to hear and understand that this was supposed to be my legacy.
Oh, boy.
So the confidence that I had in, I have a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I have a goal, a mission. It's bigger than myself, all of these things. And then when we talk about building up false confidence, and then the first major, let's just call it an international incident that created me to go from the top of feeling really confident to, I don't know what my purpose is anymore. I felt that swing. And so when we talk about as a son, this was the mantle that I was raised under, to be this person that I had no idea existed until I was much, much older.
Right.
And so that pressure of being a son and disappointing my father or not disappointing my father, trying to live up to that was and is still very extremely difficult.
Mm.
So I do think there is kind of components of, as you grow, you begin to learn more and more of what both you as an individual want, what the external environment wants, and then ultimately your choice. How do you choose to live your life in a way that you are confident in? Because ultimately it is your life.
Yeah. There's something to, I think it's easy when you're upholding your family's values.
Yeah.
To be confident as a son. It's when you're challenging your family's values, which a lot of us did or have done or will do. That can be tough because it kind of shakes your idea of yourself.
Oh, for sure. And you've mentioned competency a couple of times. So I want to kind of point out 4 maybe elements or core components of confidence, and competency is up at the top. Integrity as a second example, resilience as a third, and fourth, self-awareness.
Yeah.
So competency, integrity, resilience, and self-awareness is that quad factor of confidence that we'll get into in another episode.
Yeah.
But we're just going to keep that kind of top of mind as we go through these questions. So we've talked a lot about what makes us confident. What destroys our confidence? And I'll let you answer as a father, as a husband, as a friend, as yourself.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't put in a lot of time to building up competencies, then maybe when something goes wrong, or maybe when something especially publicly goes wrong.
Oh, okay.
Shame. Will destroy your confidence. I think that to me, that's the stuff that nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
You're a young man and all the dreams, the nightmares you're having about school or whatever are all just you getting publicly humiliated. Someone's exposing that you're not the person you purported to be.
Yeah.
And I think as you grow up, that sticks with you. We all have this imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Even when we're really good at stuff. And I think what the competencies do is kind of support that, even if someone were to call you on one thing or one thing didn't go your way, you put in enough work and you've got the skill set to back up that all the other things you've accomplished before then were legitimate.
Yeah.
It's not like a popped balloon gone. What do you think?
I think the idea of an imposter syndrome is really interesting because, and I want to make a broad generalization for many millennials. We were told that if you do really good in high school, you get a scholarship. You can get a scholarship to college. A lot of us had to pay for college. We were then told in college, if you study really hard for 4 years, and if you're extra smart and you go get your master's degree, you're going to have a great career. And we found out that may be true, but it comes at a sacrifice to a lot of our inner peace, our happiness. And then we were told dollars. And then we were told all you have to do is just find the right one, get married, and you're going to have a great life. And you'll have 2.5 kids. And a lot of us tried to have between us.
Some got a bonus.
Yeah. And I think now where people are waking up and realizing is that, well, am I good at this job that I have been at for a long time? Am I happy in this relationship that I've been in because it was the right person at the right time or in a time where I was looking to take this next step? Do I even want to be a parent, or am I good at parenting?
Right.
And now you have this existential crisis of people shifting. And to be very explicitly clear, this podcast is a direct result of a version of that story.
Sure.
We started this to not just encourage men in their lives, but also to give a voice and to help in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Share that hard-earned wisdom.
And we are hopeful, knock on wood, that we can turn this into a way that we can provide for our families and be successful.
You were talking, and it made me think about confidence as a parent, because you mentioned, I'm not even sure I want, cause I think all of us have gone through this thought. I'm not even sure I wanted this. I'm not even sure I wanted it. Do I want this?
Yeah.
To some degree, it doesn't matter at that point.
Right.
It just doesn't. But it is, parenting for me, I can only speak for me, parenting got infinitely harder once I started trying to do it well.
That's a bar.
And when you're just moving through with inertia, you're kind of just reacting. Whatever your reaction is what your reaction was. And you just move on because there's no forethought or afterthought. There's no introspection happening. Once you start paying attention, once you start reading books, once you start listening to podcasts, once you start observing how your friends operate and kind of the outcomes that are happening with their relationships with their kids, and you start really trying to be intentional, you realize how much you've already screwed up. And it shakes your confidence.
Yes.
But I do think, like the competencies thing, if you start stacking up little wins, that first time that someone's like, wow, your kid looked me in the eye when he was talking to me today. Like, most kids don't do that anymore. You're like, yes.
They held the door for all of us to walk through. Yes. I absolutely get that. And I think where we are today, many people want to be better. They just don't know how.
Yeah.
Because as we talked about on our episode about intimacy, understanding and asking yourself those very personal, intimate questions, deep, darkest questions, is work. And many of us are not at the point where we want to do that. So to ask yourself, am I a good parent? And can I be better? Requires a level of honesty that many of us are aspiring to get to.
Well, I think you have something to say on this, but I do want to ask you, where do you lose confidence at work?
Oh, Dios mío. It's been not by accident that we have not mentioned either of our current careers or professions.
Yeah.
Because for many men, they receive both validation and potentially even a false sense of confidence from their work. However, I will break this small tradition that we have to make this story. I was shaken up by something that happened at my job, and I wrote it down, and I'm going to attempt to read it.
So this is just to contextualize this. You had some news, and you sat down as you do, and you wrote about it.
I wrote about it.
Yes, because you are a fantastic writer.
Thank you.
And you process some of your thoughts through writing about it.
Yes.
But this came out impactful to me and some of your other friends.
Yes.
And so we asked that you maybe share it.
Yes.
Because we thought other people could potentially take something from it.
Yes. So let's dive into the innermost. People will probably read this and assume it's about a job, but it's not. The job is only surface level. The real conflict has existed underneath my entire life. This is about a kid I used to be. The kid who struggled academically in elementary school. The kid who always was described as sweet, kind, good-hearted, as if gentleness was the only thing people could imagine for me. But because they could not yet see what was happening beneath the surface. The kid who quietly absorbed the feeling that maybe he wasn't exceptional in the ways the world sees exceptionality. And then something happened. The boy grew into someone intellectually powerful, someone capable of deep thought, synthesis, insight, vision, and intensity. Someone who realized he could build ideas, challenge systems, and pursue meaning on his own terms. Someone who discovered that his mind was not deficient. It was simply developing directions that other people did not know how to recognize early enough. But the strange thing about childhood wounds is that they don't disappear just because reality changes. Part of me is still trying to prove something to myself. Not to the world, to myself. Every criticism, every subtle signal that I am becoming operationally inconvenient instead of strategically valuable and does not land as isolated workplace feedback. It travels downward into the deepest layers of my subconscious and touches the old fear that maybe the world was right about me all along. Not that I'm incapable. Worse, that my growth itself is the problem. That people do not actually want me to fully become what I could become. Because pruning a tree is one thing. Healthy pruning helps growth. It strengthens the structure. It creates room for something larger and more alive to emerge. But this doesn't feel like pruning. It feels like being wrapped in constraints, designed not to guide growth, but to control its direction completely. To force the tree to grow only according to the shape of the wood tied around it. To make sure it never reaches too far toward its own sunlight. And I think that is why this hurts so deeply. Because for the first time in my life, I feel the collision between two unbearable truths. I have responsibilities, I have children, I have a family that depends on me. But also, I have a soul that is fighting for its own existence. Tonight, I asked my daughter a question I could barely finish asking. I asked her if I should work and continue to provide for the family or follow my dreams. I could barely get the words out. The tears were there before the sentence was finished. Like a thunderstorm building pressure behind a breaking sky and without hesitation. The kind of sincerity only children are capable of, she answered. Follow your dreams. And maybe what broke me in that moment was realizing that somewhere along the way, I stopped believing I was allowed to. And that's what work did to me.
Yeah, man. I think we've all been in a situation similar. We've all been challenged unexpectedly in a way that utterly shook our confidence. But also, what I heard as an undertone of your thought process and kind of what you wrote is like, you have spent so much time becoming a version of you that can do and own up to and live up to and stand up in the world that you wanted to be in, that even when you do get a challenge or a setback, and even when it does come unexpectedly, the truth is that you've got enough in there that you could pivot. You've got enough in there that you can stand back up. You've got enough in there that you can get back to where you were. You've got enough in there that you can even surpass whatever the challenge is. Where you are now, if you get set back, you can get up there. You can get further. And there's a subtle like undertone of hopefulness in that I think a lot of people will resonate with. That sense that I know deep in my heart that even though someone is trying to hold me down and I can feel the pressure of it, I feel the pressure of them holding me down, they can't. They literally can't.
That was well said. Did I ugly cry, by the way?
I don't think it was ugly
Okay.
crying.
Well, I was trying.
Yeah, it was handsome crying. Yeah, it was very handsome.
crying.
I think what was most impactful, not just for me, but for those who probably experienced something similar, is for me, confidence isn't just something that's innate. I think that's too simplistic of a definition.
Sure.
Because the inner child and the inner you that exists is the one that's really the one that's pulling the doubt, the strings, all of that. And which means you have to do battle with two people. The version of yourself that wants to be its most authentic version.
Yeah.
And then the external world at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one thing, particularly as I asked at the beginning, is confidence innate or is it environmental? Can it be manufactured? For me, at least, it is very deeply personal.
Yeah.
I can be confident in the love bank that I have and the trust bank that I have with my wife, but I can be absolutely manufactured confidence when it comes to the things that I want to do.
Sure.
And I think that dichotomy is the perfect maybe undertone of what many people may experience. And if you haven't, what you will experience when you're on a path of journey and growth to better yourself.
And do you think the putting in the work to understand where you might draw confidence before you even enter a new endeavor is worthwhile?
Yeah. And if we talk about kind of what we set up as the beginning example, that you're depositing all of this. When we started, not just this, but when I wrote the book, the confidence that I had, that I leaned on, was that someone someday, somewhere will say, man, this really helped me.
Sure.
And one person is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, not even that. The thought that one person could listen to this or read what I write and be better is enough for me to keep going.
Sure.
Much like how Michael Jordan would just make up the fact that somebody was talking trash against him, and then he would
Kobe.
and he would just go out. That is how I feel.
Yeah.
And the problem sometimes is that the external environment doesn't validate that. And so when I go to cash in that or make that withdrawal, it's going to bounce. So we've talked about a lot. I wanted to kind of bring us to at least some version of a cliffhanger for our next episode.
And the next episode is going to be where we kind of dive into the components. Of confidence.
Really break down those 4 attributes of components and really work on and develop maybe even some tools on how we can live purposefully and confidently. But if you are listening to this episode and maybe you're more of a pessimist and you say something like, life doesn't always reward confidence because confidence doesn't guarantee outcomes, what would you say to that particular mindset?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. What do you have? Cody, do you have a reaction to that?
My thought is it's sort of the missing shots you don't take. Like if you don't have a dream, you'll never wake up. Like you can't you can't say, oh, it doesn't always reward it, and then just not attempt. Like life also doesn't reward not having confidence.
I do feel like life rewards having confidence much more often.
Yeah. Easily.
Yeah.
Building a bank of trust and having that currency is a lot better than trading on being broke.
Well said, sir.
And with that, we'll go to maybe a realist view of what confidence could be. Confidence is contextualizing. Stop asking, am I confident? And maybe start thinking, where am I confident? That could be a perspective someone out there is thinking.
Where and when.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe the optimist is thinking more along the lines of confidence can be built faster than people think. Just have one really good conversation. You go to the gym one good time. You do push-ups before you take that picture and you squeeze your bicep and you see that little vein pop out, right? You're like, I've made it. And so confidence is just one decision away.
That is false confidence and will be shaken off of you the moment you hit a speed bump and it will fall right off.
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, I think you mentioned, was resilience one of the components?
Yeah.
Is it time for Cody's Corner? I have questions for you guys.
It is time for Cody's Corner.
The voice of the audience over here. I have Evan with me today. You could talk. I mic'd him up, and he's just still in hibernation. He's only worries about the visuals.
Evan repping the Good Men Trying T-shirt though,
and he's trying to rip himself out of it. Look at the confidence in those veins coming out of those biceps.
Stud. What a stud.
It is the baggish shirt he owns. So I had a couple of things. One, I thought very early, and you guys were talking about moving with inertia. We talked about that a couple of times. I think I draw too much from my environment. Like I don't put enough competencies in. I think I come from that school of like naturally just thinking I can figure things out. I'm that guy that says I could land the plane, you know. If I've had to, I think I could figure it out. And I think
but don't you think that's because you have a ton of competencies?
I do, but also you went to school with me. You know, I would never bring anything to class or do the homework. I would just take the test. I could just like gather the material. So I relied very heavily on just being able to like, oh yeah, I'll just figure it out when I get there.
Understood.
And that's not.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like I think of this time I went skiing. We go on the ski trip every year. It's like 15 people, and they all wanted to race because everybody thought they were the fastest, right? And I was like, I know I can be the fastest. Like Chris, my wife's definitely the fastest, but like I'm bigger than her, and like everybody else is trying different things. I was like, I'll just go straight down. So let's get up there really early.
Some physics right now.
We'll go into a double black diamond in the woods. You know, right when the lifts open, there won't be anybody out there. I'm flying. I'm ahead of everybody because everybody's, you know, jackassing around. And I'm coming through a narrow pass of trees, and there's a couple stopped.
Oh, no.
And I had to make a choice, hit the tree and die, or hit the smaller person and send them flying with all of my inertia that I had gathered. And they went, you know, out of their skis. And then I got in a fight with a guy. It was not good. And also, my wife passed me and just didn't even stop. She won the race.
Mario Kart.
It was Mario Kart. I got hit by a blue shell, but it happened to be a blonde woman in her 20s. The other thing I thought about was, I had looked up confidence man, because you've heard the term con man. And it's a grifter that basically builds trust and then makes a big withdrawal, right? And then leaves you kind of hanging. So that's kind of an interesting thought that every time Marlon was kind of describing it, I never really put confidence and trust together as almost the same meaning, but confidence is really like a form of trust, right? Like it's a trust in yourself or your environment. I like
trust
that.
in others.
I love that bank of trust idea of depositing and withdrawing and different ways you can build that. It's the same way we talk about trust, right? And building it. You were saying it takes months of building up confidence and then you can destroy it really quickly. It's the same. It's trust, basically. The other thing I thought was interesting was Marlon had basically a prophecy in his family. Do you guys have any thoughts to creating new prophecies for your children to create immense pressure? Or family mottos? Do you have family mottos, maybe? Brett, is there a more crest?
There is a more crest. I don't remember what the Latin motto is.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know. And we have many generations of Hamilton Moores in the family too. So that actually means something, sadly. No, I don't have any of that. And we don't have any prophecies or anything like that. We on my mom's side especially were a superstitious family.
Really?
Oh yeah. We had like so many stories that I remember as a child framed in kind of like cigarette smoke and loud, happy, drunk laughter, like
Crazy.
stories told about tornadoes and black cats running across the piano, meaning somebody was going to die, and it's like always coming true, and just tons and tons of stuff on my mom's side. And those were
on my
so
mom's
fun.
side. They're very, very religious, and my grandmother would get upset if you said that our great grandmother was a witch or knew magic or spells, because she would say that she speaks conj, something where like basically she could
Like witch speak?
talk to someone and make them not sick anymore.
Oh.
And I remember like in their town, like the pastor, his son or daughter was sick and brought to my great grandmother to like speak the conj to get whatever out. And we were like, so she was a witch. And she's like, she wasn't a witch, like, because she's very religious, you know. She's like, no, she just
got
knew how
the
to do
heebie-jeebies.
spells. And we're like, pretty sure that's a witch, Grandma. Like she doesn't mix the two. It's like you can be a good Christian woman and still do magic. It's okay. But yeah,
We just have a motto: be a good human.
Oh, I like that.
oh
Keep
yeah,
it
that's right.
simple.
You've told me that. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I saw something today I thought was interesting. James Bond had a family motto in the books. Ian Fleming wrote these, like, you know, in the 60s or whatever, but or it was in the movies. The world is not enough. That was the family motto. They made it a movie later with Pierce Brosnan.
That was the title
Orbis
one.
non sufficit or something. But
The
yeah,
world is not enough.
the villain says, I could have given you the world. And he says, the world is not enough. And he's like, family motto. Like, that's
Ding.
Pierce Brosnan, so cool. But yeah, it makes me want to have a family motto. Marlon, you've told me that before. That's a good one.
Well,
Have you ever turned that into Latin and like put it on a crest?
I
Because that would be fire.
We need to do that. Good Men Trying needs a motto. Jeez.
well, we do have a motto.
Yeah.
You want to tell them what the motto is?
So are we talking about what we lead off the episode with?
No, the 3 words.
Okay.
No, the 4 words.
Trying is the point.
Trying is the point.
Yeah.
That's the point.
No, I mean, okay, so we've been talking about this. You don't have to show up perfect.
Yeah.
You don't have to get it right.
The present is better than perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, all you have to do is try. Because if you are trying, you will eventually get it right. Or 1% better.
Hey, I love that. Roll my music.
We ain't here for the postures or the masks we wear, not the highlight reels or the half-truth share. We talk repairs, staying when it's easier to run, showing up for the work when the honeymoon's done. Fathers, partners, friends, learning how to be, listening more than we speak, choosing honesty. No gurus, no crowns, just truth in the trying. We ain't lying, this is good men trying.